The New Patriotic Party is at a very crucial moment, the moment that is going to choose its next flag bearer leading up into election 2028. The campaign has been very interesting, 5 persons in the race, and the support has been particularly interesting too. Now, tonight on FaceToFace, I'm going to engage with a senior member of the party who has thrown his support not against the candidate who led the party into the last election, but behind the candidate who nearly won the last flag bearership contest, the former member of parliament for Asante Central. And my guest is interesting as in he's done a lot of other things, football administration, business executive, and he's also a politician. He is supporting Kennedy Agyapong. I'll be introducing him when we come back from this break. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu, and this is FaceToFace on ChannelOne television. My guest is Dr. Kofi Kodia Frimpong, popularly known as K K Sarpong. I beg your pardon. Dr. Kofi Kodia Sarpong. People just say K K Sarpong. My true name, I decided to mention the full name and I went to T. Dr. Sarpong, welcome to FaceToFace.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Oh, pretty fine.
How is life?
Very okay.
How are things generally looking for you in terms of business? Because you're a businessman. How is the business climate looking like for you?
No. I've retired.
You're retired?
Yes.
How about you have business interests?
No, truly retired.
Completely?
Yes.
Wow.
Retired.
So what do you do?
Well, keep reading. I'm writing my memoirs and a bit of advice here and there. Pro bono.
Okay.
Yes.
Consultancy? No?
No.
No consultancy. No. So just living the life now. Yes. It's good you talk about the memoirs. A number of times, those who achieve in society rarely write books for us to read, and we always complain. I'm happy to hear that you're writing, and it will be a great read. Please advise your colleagues also to write, those who have also done
Well,
something.
It depends on interest. At least I needed to engage myself for the first 3 years of retirement and focus on writing my own autobiography. And it's nearly done. Hopefully this year it will be out there for you to read.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I hope maybe other people are writing. I know a few people are also writing, so we'll see.
When you say your first 3 years of retirement, when do you retire as a private person? Because you are more of a private person than a public person. So you decide when you want to retire.
No. I'm talking about retirement from government.
Okay.
Business, yes.
Okay.
3 years.
As GNPC boss.
Yes.
So your first entry into government or public politics was Tema Oil Refinery. Was that the first one?
No, I've been following MPP since 1992.
No, I mean take up an appointment as in a public office.
Well, I don't know, but you are not just appointed. I worked in food distribution in a senior management position. I worked in State Gold Mining Corporation. Worked in a produce buying company and cocoa board. Went to International Cocoa, came to Tema Oil. But these were all through interviews. Yes. Cocoa Board one, perhaps. I was working in the subsidiary and I was elevated to go to the holding company. Yes.
So, but your first appointment that you say, oh, this was a presidential appointment, would be the one to Tema Oil Refinery and then GNPC. That one, or that's also not?
Well, it wasn't. Tema Oil, I was interviewed alongside other people, and then I came in.
Okay.
A second interview before I came in as deputy. A second interview before I became the...
Under Akufo?
Yes, under President.
So it's not as if, because we are told that the president has so many power, so much, and appoints so many people. So typically, when governments change, presidents appoint people. So Tema Oil Refinery wouldn't be one of the places where, or the MD is presidential appointment, but the deputy is technocrat. How does it work?
You know,
This is just education, I'm thinking.
Tomorrow is the company registered under the Communist Code, yeah, and technically, the board must appoint from its members one as the managing director. But we all know when it's wholly owned by government, the invisible hand is there for government to maybe drive the direction of the appointment.
Okay.
Yes. But I think the GNPC one, really, within the Act, the GNPC law is the president which appoints.
So you've done oil, you've done cocoa, you've done, so cocoa, oil,
food.
You've done food too.
Yes.
So what is your expertise or what is your profession? No, I'm a journalist.
I always go in to work in the finance function. So in the early stages, in fact, I did meat. I lived in Bolgatanga for 2 years.
The meat factory?
Yes. No, not meat factory. Meat marketing board.
Okay.
Was different
is this PNDC or Agyapong Times?
That one was, it was a Champon, then went through General Akufo, then through Jerry Rollins for a while, and then President Liman came in, so that was it. But that one I was a little boy, yes, an assistant officer.
Yeah, that was many years ago.
Yeah, many years ago. I'm sure you were not born.
Oh, no. In fact, I was born the year you got your master's, you obtained your master's. I was reading on your profile, I think you got a master's to go do something abroad. That was the year I was born.
1988?
7.
87?
Yes.
Oh, you're a baby then.
Yes, yes, so I am before you now, learning a lot of the things you say. So, which one did you enjoy the most, working in Cocoa Board, GNPC, TOR?
I've always enjoyed my work. They all come with different experiences. Meat was my maiden job. It was very interesting, going to live in Bolga.
Your first time?
Yes, my first time.
Was it your first time going beyond Kumasi?
No, I had gone to, I knew of Techiman.
Okay.
Yes.
But you haven't gone to Tamale?
No.
So it was your first time going north properly?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. How was the experience?
Well, mixed feelings, but I enjoyed it. Yeah, the 18 to 24 months there was quite exciting. Yes.
I'm going to ask a question, and viewers forgive me, but if you say meat in Bolgatanga, we know a delicacy in Bolgatanga. Were you dealing with that as well? I mean, dog meat, or it was pure cow meat?
No, pure cow meat.
Pure cow meat, yes. Okay. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
I do. Yeah.
GNPC, what would you say is your legacy?
My legacy?
Yes.
Well, maybe it's for people to judge. When I took over, my predecessor had lined up a number of programs, exploration in the Botean Basin, and I advanced it. I'm happy, at least semblance of hydrocarbons were detected through the initial work that I did. Then also, there were other initiatives like trying to, the Botean Basin is onshore, on land, in-country exploration. Okay. I also continue.
But we haven't done that yet, right? Do we do onshore drilling?
Well, I don't follow it too much, but I believe those who continued after me have made progress. I heard that they may try and drill a well this year.
But what I mean is that currently we don't drill onshore, do we?
No, we
are not. So there's nowhere we extract oil on land.
That's why it's important that we try to.
Okay. Is it not too expensive?
I don't know the numbers, so I cannot tell.
Okay.
But I believe offshore will be more expensive when you are going deeper into the
sea.
The
belly of the sea.
Yes. Sometimes 2 kilometers down there. Or 3 kilometers.
That technology is crazy.
Well, so don't joke with the scientists.
with the floating vessel docked and all of that work that you do.
The FPSO.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I could ask you though, your view on the state of Ghana's economy now. Because you helped play a role in the early days of the Mahama government when he came and was trying to
the
work
National Economic Dialogue.
Yes.
I took part.
You took part, even though you are from the other side of the political aisle.
Definitely. I'm a senior citizen. When you are invited and you have something to offer, you have to.
Some would say you betrayed the Elephant Party by going to.
They should be crazy. What is the essence of education? It should help us to bring development to our people. This is a new government, wants to understand the dynamics and invites experts to come. I was glad I was invited, even though I belong to the other side. And it wasn't me alone. There were maybe the 6 teams, I may say about 3 of the chairmen of the 6 groups perhaps came from the MPP stock. You
didn't receive backlash from your party people?
No. Maybe they were afraid to say it.
But you had just left government and you are now being asked to come and help fix the economy that your government may have messed up. Does it
I hadn't just left government. I left in 2022 and the dialogue was in 2025.
So nearly a lot of water has gone under this.
Yeah. But I think that kind of attitude that we don't have to. If you have constructive suggestions or criticisms, I think you shouldn't shy away. If the debate is open, you should be able to do it. And I enjoyed that 1.5 days of dialogue.
Okay.
I did.
Last week, the president appointed a number of people to help advise him on the economy. So it's not like the economic management team as we know it in the past, but this is a team where we have Toby Afede and a number of people in there to advise him. I don't know if you have seen that news and what your reaction would be to that.
I heard it only 3 days ago. Yes, I'm now going to read.
So if you are invited to come and help with something like that, would you do it?
Why not? If I believe I have the expertise, why not?
What do you think Mahama and his government are getting right and what are they getting wrong with managing this economy?
I think it's too early. But there are obviously good signs of exchange rate, interest rate, inflation. One must be honest. I've made a point before. How sustainable will be this?
That's the issue.
Yes, the whole debate about whether I was right, the way maybe the interventions in the market. But one needs to look at the totality of the issues involved before drawing a conclusion.
So if you were to advise them on the pitfalls ahead, because it looks good, everything is nice, everybody's happy now, but sustaining it really is the issue. There's a view that, it's because IMF is in town and they are holding a big stake over our head, that's why we are behaving. There's also another view that, listen, when Akufo came in 2001, things were great. When Mills came in 2009, things were great. When Akufo-Addo came in 2017, things were great. So the starting is always good. It's the sustenance and the ending that becomes a problem.
I think you've answered the question.
So how do we sustain it so that if they are watching us?
Well, those who are managing, I think the environment, whether economic, social or political, isn't static. You get things changing, there's fluidity of the situation, and to me, an assessment will be specific to a certain time frame, and the variables which present themselves. So unless I do a deeper dive, I don't think I'll be in a position to say much.
Do you have private conversations with the president and give him advice? What is your relationship with President Mahama like, despite the fact that you're an MPP member?
A very affable president, but I don't have that connection.
Okay.
Maybe the MPP NDC divide.
It repels.
But he invited me to do the NED.
And you did?
Yes, and I did.
Okay. Ghana football. You were deep in there. I've seen one club in your room when I entered somewhere. I think it's from Agyapong 2 or something.
Yes.
What's it called?
Asekem FC.
Asekem. Is that something you add? Is something an old thing or a new thing?
No, it's new too. My nephew and my son formed it.
Okay.
Yes, and
it's going well?
because I'm passionate, it's not going well. We
First
did
division,
we did
second?
2 years in second division. Our second year we came to first division. We did 3 years in first division, and we are back in second division.
You've gone down.
But I think they've decided not to even play for a variety of reasons.
Okay.
That's for a discussion some other time.
Okay.
And go more into football, youth football,
Okay.
so football college or football school, academy, as we call it, and see whether they can open channels for marketing.
But where is it located?
Bepos is around
Okay,
okay.
But Kotoko is a big one.
Yes.
You were there. Your legacy there, and I'm sure in your memoirs you will talk about it.
3 chapters.
3 chapters.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Yes.
And what was the happiest moment for you when you were there as a manager or the boss?
Well, I won 2 league cups back to back. They hadn't won it for about 7 years, so that was the proudest moments.
Why do you leave? You should have stayed. Because I think sports is both passion, excitement, and hobby. It's not necessary.
Well, when the time comes for you to leave, nobody should tell you. You should exit. And I left at the right time.
The African Cup just finished over the weekend. We didn't go, sadly, for the first time in a long time. How does that make you feel?
Very, very sad. Very, very sad. But you know, we need to advance the game in our country. We need to do more investment. We need to manage the game objectively. There's so much cry about officiating, and that's one of the reasons why ASECAM is chickening out. And if we cannot do that, I'm afraid people will not invest. You invest and you are shortchanged.
It doesn't augur well.
Yes, it doesn't. It doesn't.
There's a debate on the national call-up, whether we should call players in Ghana or local players, or we should go abroad, wherever it is, even if it's in New Zealand, to go and bring a player. What's your view?
We should call the best.
Wherever they are.
Yes, wherever they are.
So
because
far as
it's a national team. Why do you want mediocres to go and play when better talents are elsewhere? You see, and I think the reason why we go out there for foreign players is because they have the best of facilities for training and the best of techniques. So here we need to upgrade our technical people, their skills, and then also make sure that facilities for training are available.
This is Face to Face on ChannelOne Television. My guest is Dr. K K Sarpong. I'm Umaru Sandamado. We return to talk about Kennedy Ohene Agyapong. Please stay with us. My guest, Dr. K K Sarpong, and we are going to talk about Kennedy Agyapong. But before then, Doc, what's the state of the New Patriotic Party currently, the party you belong to?
Just as you see it, from our highs, if we have just about 86 or so parliamentary seats, it should tell you all isn't well. That is all I can say. I mean, that sums it all.
How did you end up here? Because it's been long in coming. You narrowly lost election 2009.
Yes.
2012, you thought and believed that you won that election. 2016, because that's why you went to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
2016, you won bigly. 2020, you dropped. 2024, almost annihilated.
That's the right word.
Yeah.
Yes.
The tragedy of your trajectory has been pathetic.
Yes.
What do you blame for that?
Well, I think I've said it on many channels. We lost touch with our own base. The base, yes, we lost touch. We had a wonderful first year for President Akufo-Addo, but a combination of factors conspired against his second term, those beyond his control, like COVID, you know, the World Economic Order, fuel prices going up, and all those things, inflation going up globally, things which were difficult times. But also maybe internally, we also had challenges with our own governance performance. And we need to face it. You can't run away from that things were not too well, and the public sentiments were negative, and the signs were on the wall that we were losing the elections. You see, so it seems to be a trend. I mean, naturally in politics there's ups and downs. Otherwise, like the Conservative Party in UK wouldn't lose heavily to Labour. It does happen once in a while. But when it happens, then you do diagnosis and see how best you can salvage the situation.
The Akufo government perhaps was the most successful MPP government until 2016. When I mean success, I'm talking about at the polls. So Akufo won in 2001 for the first time in a long time and repeated that victory in 2004. We've seen what the Akufo government did. Largely the people who were in Akufo's government also played very key roles in the Akufo-Addo government. Osafo Mafo, Kandapa, Hakman, all these people who worked with Akufo-Addo under the Akufo government are the same people who ran the Akufo-Addo government with him. So where did things go wrong, or what happened? Because if the Akufo era was good, then how come it didn't continue?
We had two different presidents. Maybe they had different styles. But I don't think the cabinet was the same.
Yes.
You need to admit.
But there were a lot of people in the Akufo cabinet who
not too many.
Alan Chemantin was there.
Yeah.
Osafo Mafo.
Osafo Mafo, senior minister. Yeah. What post is that?
That's like vice president. That's like head of economic management.
No, he's not the head of.
Agyapong was in Akufo's government.
As deputy minister.
Yes, he got upgraded.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that, yes, obviously it's the same group of people. Mm-hmm. They are the same politicians who move from one stage to another. Yes, so for me, it's more about policies, it's more about the style of leadership, it's more about commitment. So I think that maybe one would need a very serious analysis. And it's something for political scientists, those who are there, to do PhD in these areas, try to analyze.
But if things were so well in the first term and again, then things start going bad in second term, and we can blame COVID, we can blame Ukraine, but we could also blame something local, something in the government, something
like
was
what?
missing.
You give me suggestions so
okay.
I can comment.
So things were going bad. NPP people went up in arms and said, fire your finance minister or fire our finance minister. Something I've never seen in my life. I'm not sure whether you have seen it too.
Not at all.
That members of parliament of a governing party would say, fire the finance minister. And it never happens.
Yes, that's why I talk about style and commitment. Maybe Papa Akufo would have listened, but for whatever reason, unfortunately, President Akufo-Addo decided to hold the finance minister, to have him in place. Akufo made reshuffles. That wasn't the style of President Akufo-Addo. So at least there are a whole lot of this. But of course, for the almost the entire parliament complaining about the finance minister, if I were the president, I would have changed it.
You would have changed.
That's all I would say.
There are critics of Akufo-Addo who say he was not listening to advice from party leaders, senior members of the party and all of that. You worked with him. He appointed you for 4 years or so.
Yes.
What kind of person was an Akufo-Addo president? Different from
well, if you work in the corporate world, I don't think you have a daily or frequent encounters with the president. You work through your ministers, yes. But if there was things which were very critical, you may be summoned to the presidency. We did it a couple of times. But in those instances, he showed leadership, trying to help us to get things done in the oil sector. And I think that one, I will give him thumbs up. You see, maybe others had a different experience, but K K Sarpong had a good relationship with the president, and we could discuss matters objectively. And
he would listen to you or argue with you, debate you, and decide on...
Oh, yeah, I also debate him. And he would tell you, I mean, anytime we met, he would tell you, state my points, because I come as a technocrat,
Okay.
not as a politician.
Okay.
And I think there were instances that we had stormy arguments, but at the end of the day, we disagreed to agree.
Agree.
Yes.
And you moved the ship of state forward.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, that ship crashed in 2024 in a very terrible way.
Well, you would say so. And there were many actors. Maybe my caliber, there were not too many of them, but at least I held my own, and I had good working relationship with the president and the ministers.
You still do?
Yes, we got.
Do you still have a good relationship with Akufo-Addo?
I do. You can't underrate somebody who has been president before. You need to accord him all the necessary courtesies, all the respect. How many of us will ever be president? One at a time. So wherever we get there, and I think I said it today about people who try to maybe smear the president, the ex-president. Obviously, there were good things he did, and others that could have been done better. But on balance, you cannot say that everything he did was rubbish. And that is why I'm saying that anybody who has been president before, that's why when they leave, we don't call them by their, you say President Akufo-Addo, President Mama, whether they've left the office or not. It's a sacred office that must be respected.
So when people blame Akufo-Addo for the challenges of the New Patriotic Party, particularly at the polls, and they say that he's the one who has brought you this low, would you agree with them?
That's a difficult one for me to answer. It depends on where you are coming from. My concern, which I've expressed variously, is the fact that the party or the party should be allowed to elect its own leaders without coercion, without intimidation. That is where maybe sometimes things go wrong. And the moment you do that, you install a leader for us, a flag bearer for us, who does not appear to be acceptable to all of us because we criticize the way it was done. Then in that case, we create a problem for the entire party going into an election.
Are you referring to 2023 because Alan Chemantin left the party angry because of how things were done? I think Agyapong also had issues with how the primaries were done. Is that what you're referencing?
Well, I think we need to be honest. That is where it all started.
So there was a view that there was an imposition of a candidate by the system at the time?
Definitely.
And you think that that played a role in affecting your...
So much.
Because I know that when it comes
that
to...
obviously breeds apathy. If that happens, it breeds apathy. And I think that is, we need to confront that issue.
But
that's why I keep on preaching that when a president is leaving, you should allow the rank and file to choose his own leader. You may have your preference, but it may not necessarily be the one that the people want.
But President Akufo-Addo did not publicly endorse his vice president at the time for the flag bearership race.
Omar.
Yes, sir.
Were you in Ghana?
Oh yes, I was at the.
Actions sometimes speak louder than words.
Maybe it's implied. Maybe people think that because
well, that was
his
perception. I've said, and perceptions can be dangerous. That was a perception.
So
if
come
the
out
whole
and say
party
that.
machinery, if the whole party machinery, if the whole government machinery goes behind one candidate, what do you think will be the repercussions?
It means the head of the government endorses it.
Yes, I mean, we need to be careful. They have a choice to make individually, but you don't use the whole machinery to drive your choice.
Didn't Kufuor do that? We were told Kufuor's choice was Alan Chemantin, and that was loudly proclaimed.
Yes. I've heard him recently saying that he never did.
Yes.
He's saying it.
But
my perception at the time was that he did it. That's my perception.
So it was wrong at the time?
Definitely wrong. And
wrong.
I say it clearly in my memoir. I do say it without mincing words, because that is what we all perceived to be the position.
Do you think if Akufo-Addo was not seen and his government was not seen to be endorsing Dr. Bawumia in 2023, the outcome may have been different?
Well, not maybe better, but as for losing, we'll have lost. Because
I don't mean the general election. I mean the flag bearership. You think that Bawumia could have lost if the government and the machinery of the party were not seen to be?
We didn't experience, so it's difficult you can only conjecture.
No, because you have a difficulty with him, his seeming endorsement of his vice president.
Yes.
And I'm saying that, do you think that if he did not appear to
maybe if he didn't do it, it could have been a different outcome. It could have been the same.
But the party will feel that we did it.
The party will feel that, we have elected the one that we want.
Did you support Dr. Bawumia in 2023 or you supported Ken
Agyapong?
Ken? I didn't. So why did you support Bawumia at the time and not supporting him this time?
There was this, Akufo-Addo had a compelling argument about the northern versus the Akan divide. The party being branded Akan, and therefore he's saying that we should let a northern candidate come. I think that was a plausible.
He pushed that idea.
Yes, I think that was a plausible.
He said give the North a chance.
Yes, that one was a plausible argument. But then if we did, the whole combination of religion, the whole combination of minority, even in the North, the whole, you see, you're going to do a matrix. And later when you do simulation or you do what I call regression analysis, you'll be able to see which factors pushed or which factor was more pervasive.
Tell me which one you noticed from
your
regression
I haven't
analysis.
done that kind of scientific analysis.
But there were a number of things on the ballot paper, weren't they? So there was Dr. Bawumia as a person on the ballot.
Yes.
There was Dr. Bawumia's ethnicity on the ballot and his religion on the ballot. There are people who think that those things don't play a role. There are people who think that they actually play a role. Then there was a shadow of Akufo-Addo on the ballot, i.e. the performance of his government, because there's a view that to break the eight must have been successful. So if the eight was not successful, you cannot break it. Which one do you think played a bigger role?
You're forcing me to answer. But I think we need to admit that the economy issue was very strong. It went against us.
So that would be an Akufo-Addo problem?
That would be a government problem.
Yes, led by Akufo-Addo.
A government problem.
Okay. Which, if we are apportioning blame and we give economy as part of the problems, would we say Bawumia's character was a problem?
What is wrong with his character? I want to know.
Would we say his ethnicity or religion was a problem?
Well, religion, people speculate. But for me, I personally, we've had Kufuor and Aliyu on the ballot, Muslim, Christian, and he went. He could have turned the other way. So seriously, but the economy was an issue. So then
why should we say let's change the driver? When the driver was not the problem, it was the goods he had in his car that was the problem.
But did he play a part? Yes. Was he instrumental in that?
It was a mate.
How do you say a mate?
He was just opening the door, picking passengers.
Please. No, I mean, those things are jokes. You understand? Let us be serious about the thing. If you drove the economy, you drove the economy because the president brought you as his economic messiah, and you drove it, and then things went bizarre. Why do you want to take yourself out of it? Somebody was arguing that Akufo-Addo didn't allow Bawumia to work. And I said, how can you say that? 8 years? K K Sarpong, I would have resigned. If I did not find it, that I had a role to play and that I was just chopping state money.
If you felt redundant?
Yes, felt redundant, that's the word.
You would have quit?
Oh, yeah, I would have
so
quit.
To the extent that he did not quit in 8 years, he cannot claim that he was not...
He cannot. Just like the cabinet ministers. Why should they absorb themselves? They were all part of it. If you live with your president in the cabinet room, we are not there. And from what I know or I have learned, there you have free exchange of ideas. But if somehow you were intimidated and you couldn't, how can you jump outside and say that, oh, as for me, I was not part of it? So please, that one, the Akufo-Addo baggage affected all his serious appointees. You understand?
Including his vice.
Obviously.
But the point is made, and you and I have had this conversation. Ken Ofori-Atta is a big elephant in the room. Osafo Maafo was senior, what was it, Minister of State. There's a view that Bawumia was not allowed to do his things, and that Ken was the man who was running the whole show. So he was just reduced to doing digitalization.
Has Bawumia said that he wasn't allowed to do his work? I want to know from him. Has he ever made that pronouncement? People are speculating.
He said he had some things he objected to, but of course there's a collective decision, so he has to be part of it.
Cabinet is a collective responsibility. Cabinet, I mean, he's a friend. I mean, we shared lamentations together. But at the end of the day, Vice President is not a small post.
But what if you are made, like
you said Osafo Maafo, senior minister.
Yes.
Were the ministers reporting through him to the president?
I don't know how the role was.
Yeah. So what was his power?
But you were in that government. Was Ken Ofori-Atta not more powerful?
I worked to the Minister for Energy, occasionally Minister for Finance when I'm chasing my money. He never dictated to me how I run my oil. Sorry, GNPC. No.
Because you've mentioned your minister, let me just bring this in before going inside. Your minister was Matthew Opoku-Prempeh. He started as education.
I had Amewu.
You had Peter Amewu.
Yeah.
Do you think he contributed to your party's defeat?
Who?
Napo as running mates in 2022.
How would I know that?
You saw his actions, his utterances.
Which actions? He campaigned throughout the country. I never followed him to every place. How would I make that judgment?
Okay.
Those who work closely will be the one to make that statement. Unfortunately, I have not seen the Okwe report, unfortunately.
Oh, they didn't show it to you?
Oh.
Yeah, I senior member of the party.
Oh, who has seen it?
I thought they would show it to you and say, Papa, this is what we're going to cook. So at least you senior people, they should give you one or two.
Oh, no, I don't think. They said it's shelved. I mean, so let us see.
It's good you mentioned again that the president's baggage, Akufo-Addo's baggage, affected other people, including those who were in his cabinet and all of that. So Dr. Brian Agyapong, Dr. Yawose Duchum, and so would Kennedy Ohene Agyapong, who was a board chairman.
Board chairs for 6 months or for 1 year?
Board chairs are big.
Please.
They give policy direction.
Please. Don't belittle governance. Board chair.
Yes.
When you work to the minister, and is a company,
yes,
the company board of directors say they will do this or that.
Yes.
What is wrong with where he was the board chair? I want to know.
So board chairs are insignificant?
They are important.
But
you cannot ascribe certain things to them. I want to know what his chairmanship of Ghana Gas brought, which was negative. I just want to know.
No, but I would also want to know if a minister could be more powerful than the president. Because if we want to say that, the board chair reports to his minister, then we can equally say that a minister in the government also reports to the president. And it's only things that are approved in cabinet that is that. So ultimately, then we should blame only the president and nobody else, if that's how it goes.
You see, maybe you look at I can see where you are driving it to say that don't blame Dr. Bawumia, but blame Akufo-Addo. Yes, the ultimate.
Or don't blame Brian Agyapong.
The ultimate responsibility goes to the president. But in the process, he's got a number of assistants who should help him carry out his programs. And if you're a vice president, or you're a finance minister, or you're an energy minister, you'll be in that space where you give your contribution. And I'm saying that you cannot come and tell me, energy minister, that the president didn't allow you to work. You had good initiatives, and he said they were not good, he won't allow you to work. Then maybe the wisest thing to do was to quit.
This face-to-face on ChannelOne television, my guest, Dr. K K Sarpong. When we come back, the character Ken Agyapong, why did he choose to support him? What new things is he expecting to see from a Ken Agyapong presidency? Please stay with us. back face to face on ChannelOne TV. Umaru Sandamado is my name. My guest, Dr. K K Sarpong. Doc, why Kennedy Ohini Agyapong for flag bearer?
I think maybe now you've come home to look at the substantive issue. Thank you very much.
We're building the foundation.
Yeah, well.
The fundamentals were weak, so we're trying to fix them.
The foundation has been laid for far too long. Anyway, when we lost the elections, sitting in this room, my position was that, well, parties progress forward, progress, and that kind of thing. So we shouldn't throw our hands in the air. We shouldn't say that everything was lost. We should try and rebuild. We should try and come out of the hole where we had sunk so deep. And so I was reflecting myself. So who will even be the next flag bearer? In my own view, the performance was so bad that definitely I wasn't thinking of repeating the same flag bearer. But I'm one individual. So if nobody came forward and only him, then he'll still go unopposed. But that would mean then the party feels that we can't do anything, it's the same person. So we must move. But fortunately, I hadn't thought of Agyapong or Brian or the people who came up. I even thought Agyapong was coming, who I felt could be a good candidate. I was in my room here when Kennedy walked in with a friend to announce me that he wanted to run again and that he needed my support. You know, I don't mix decisions lightly. If you manage companies to that level, you notice that you need to assemble your data, your thoughts, and then before you make a decision, look at what you call your SWOT analysis, your pluses and your minuses. So when he came, my first reaction was, well, good to hear from you. It's good at least we have somebody who is still interested in lifting the party up. But can I see you after a week when I have had a reflection? So you know my summer hat there. I used to sit there in the morning, reflect. Where are we? How did we get here? And one thing which was quite clear was that many of the youth deserted us. Our own party youth deserted us. What reason? Because our 8-year rule did not give them jobs. And that was a critical thing. And that is what I seem to be hearing anywhere I went, like church, marriages, christening, parties, whatever events, funerals, people would then be talking. The youth, Chief, so then that stuck in my head. Then also there was the issue of corruption, perception of corruption being tagged on all of us. So that was also another point. Then under the circumstance, who will be able to unite our party, which appear to have been fragmented because of the events leading to the primaries, the selection of the flag bearer. Alan Chamatin left, and many people, some people followed him, and many of those people who didn't vote possibly were Alan Chamatin followers, as well as people who were disgruntled with the economy. So I was making all these connections, these factors, analyzing them. So when I had assembled all the parameters, then I tried to look at how that gentleman who came to see me, how he fitted into that. Then I was vindicated.
It was a perfect fit.
Yeah, it was a perfect fit. You see, we needed somebody who would move the base of the party for people to go in and vote. Our parliamentary seats had been taken away from us. Even traditional seats, we had lost them. We had lost them. So how do we get these things back? And if you I have a boy who analyzed the electoral results for me, parliamentary seats. Many of them, 100 votes, 200 votes, 300 votes. And then you see a large number of voters, registered voters, who didn't vote. If they had voted, presumably, in a stronghold, would have wiped the 200. So we needed somebody who would be able to ginger the base for them to vote. And to me, one thing which went to Kennedy, went for him, was the fact that he was a man of the moment. He was the people's, the youth, their choice. The grassroots, their choice. And these are the grassroots who didn't go to vote. They should go and vote now. And I thought that he would be able to move the base, to bring them from wherever they are hiding. Because he's the man, he's got that charisma. They love him, they follow him. You see, in political leadership, it's the momentum. Who that moment is the one that everybody will look up to.
But you see, when you look at the MPP's tradition, would he fit properly as the leader of the MPP based on everything you know about your party?
You ask me, I'm giving you the parameters.
And he's the best fit?
I've given you just one. Being the man of the moment, being the one with the charisma to move.
I've heard opponents of his say, oh, the NDC people like him, which means that he's the one that they can defeat. So why go for Ken Agyapong when the NDC people also are asking you to vote for him?
I hear contrary views from the same NDC people you talk to. They are concerned. You talk to them closely. Who thought President Trump would win the election in the US? So here, we are talking about somebody who will be able to move the base. And the base will follow him because he's the one they believe can provide them with jobs, because he's demonstrated with his own investments, trying to create jobs for people. And in his rounds, this even after I had made my decision, I follow his rounds. He has a clear path as to what he can do in each locality to create jobs.
How do you handle his speech?
Which speech?
His utterances.
Well, even today I was on Peace FM, and they were talking about him insulting people, doing that. There are two sides to the speech. When you forcibly make the point, or you are so passionate about something, it depends on how you express it, to the extent that people believe that you are being too abrasive or something. And when maybe through listen, you just insult people. But we need to pause and ask a question. You, Omar is sitting here. Will he come and insult you?
I interviewed him for 1 hour. He did not insult me.
Definitely. So he may be provoked. But that is about managing his temperament, which people like me have succeeded in 6 months to manage.
But the fact that we are even using the phrase managing temperament means it's a problem that you have to constantly be managing. It's like an illness.
But people learn. You see, and you are a Muslim in the Bible, but I'm sure there will be a version in the Quran which you, mind you, I'm a theologian.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yes. I say, when I was young, I used to do things that the young people do.
But now I'm old.
I'm old. I do things that the older people do. So in the same way, when I wasn't vying for president, I could say anything. But now that I'm vying,
I'll do cosmetology where I'll put pancake on the thing, the ponds on my, and look like I'm nice when I'm not. That's fake.
One thing I did was to summarize his, as an accountant, you have a balance sheet, the plus and the liabilities, the minuses.
Debit and credit.
Yes. So I did a summary. And on balance to me, his pluses were
higher.
And I'm saying that if his problem, the only problem that people see is about his speech, for me, we can manage that so that he can do the good things in him for the benefit of the country.
So you
have you heard that he's been tagged with any corruption in this country?
Well, I haven't seen.
Yes.
I've seen him tagged as a no-nonsense man.
As a no-nonsense
and an insulter general.
Well, that's your version. Sometimes, if he is insulting people, that's one side. But have we looked at the totality of his personality? When I got closer to him, I saw how humble he is.
They say he's a braggart. He brags a lot.
Yeah,
that he has given money to people. He will be saying.
So when you are a young
they say
man,
if Kennedy give you money, he will do and tell everybody that has given you money.
Oh well, don't go and provoke him.
But that's a problem. If you are blaming,
I was just making the point that now he must be behaving presidential, and I think the last 6 months. Let us be honest. Have you heard anything about him which is negative?
Yeah, but is that not pretense because he's looking
it's
for
not
the
pretense.
Office?
No, because
let me do
every president has got advisors. From President Putin down to President Mama here. Every president has got advisors. And your turnout is as good as your advisors. And I think that he, with the humility that he has to select people, come to somebody like me in humility to ask for help, I'll be eager. And I tell him, he spent about 2 hours with me here yesterday, visiting with his wife, which was very nice. That was a social visit.
So does it mean he has refined, or he's always been that kind of person, but a different picture was painted?
Yeah, but whatever he is, don't judge him on one variable. Judge him on the totality of the variables.
What about on the variable of the claim from the Bawumia campaign that Bawumia is the most marketed, and so he's the most, the person you would expect the Ghanaians to vote for, because you are not going to bring a new guy and start selling him again when you already have someone who's been sold for 16 years?
Please,
How do you respond to that?
16 years?
Yes. And
you got 4.6 million votes, losing 2.2 million from Akufo-Addo's votes. For me, that mathematics alone is simple. And then the question you ask is that what will he do to rebrand himself to redeem the 2.2 million votes? I'm asking you.
I don't know, maybe the performance of this government may give him an upper hand. Maybe people would finally
people will want to
that.
know your programs. Kennedy says jobs, jobs, jobs. And I think the youth, it resonates with them. Job, job. And one thing, apart from he not being corruptible, he speaks the truth. And I have, as a young man, you notice in this country, when you are young and you are confident, like you, yourself.
They say you're too known.
You're too known, you're arrogant. I suffered that fate as a young accountant. About 28 years, chief accountant, Food Distribution Corporation. That time it was the corporation of the moment.
Managing old people.
Managing old people. Every statement.
Umbuadie.
But I was brought up properly by the Seventh-day Adventists. But because I'll be confident to tell my boss, this is not right. At the meeting, some people will not understand. In management, is leadership, is dialogue. I think this Kennedy has what it takes to climb the high office. His rough edges can be managed.
Dr. K K Sarpong, the theologian, politician, businessman, retiree, thank you for speaking to us on FaceToFace.
Mary, it's been a pleasure being on your show. I hope to meet you again.
I'm honored.
When we have won, and then we'll be examining what next.
Thank you so much, and wish you all the best.
All right.
And that's by way of FaceToFace today on ChannelOne Television. I am Omar Sanda Amadou.